Intuition is your best defense, and it is your intrinsic knowing or your all knowing part of yourself. The reason why people don't use their intuition is one, they don't know how to connect to it, and two, they are too much in their minds. Typically, on a day to day basis, including myself, people tend to be in the negative mind. And these types of thoughts can be considered patterns or are resistant thoughts. Think things like, no one likes me, no one loves me, everyone's out to get me, things won't work out for me. These are all based on survival patterns, things that have happened in the past, and we bring it into our future as a way to protect ourselves. Now, having these thoughts will release negative chemicals within the brain, which won't make us feel very good. So oftentimes it associates us being with too much in the mind and less in the body. Your intuition is kind of a watery feeling, and it is a very soft feeling. So if you're used to bulldozing or trudging through life, it's going to be more difficult to connect to. Intuition is associated with more of a fluid-like feeling or watery feeling, very soft. And so the best way that I would like to describe to get into your intuition is starting with your hands. Now, your hands have one of the most nerve endings, and you can actually feel your hands based on focusing your attention on them. So if you're doing it right, you'll often feel like a vibrating sensation within them, and it's usually going to feel on the palm of your hands. This is the first step to connecting to your intuition, because this feeling feels a little bit more softer and more validating, more than bulldozing through decision making. Oftentimes we lose our sense of intuition based on trauma, or also based on being on autopilot. Autopilot really feels like we are not really given a choice in the matter, so we're kind of used to bulldozing through life, and this can be a little bit scary for intuition, or it's not going to speak to you if you just trudge through it. So it's going to be very helpful to let go of the negative thinking or the negative narrative that you have within your head. And the best way to be able to get out of this state is to ask yourself what you would be like if you didn't have these thoughts, such as, I won't be able to find a job, no one likes me, no one will buy my services, people think I'm ugly, I won't find a date. These are narratives that in the past have hurt you, and you're carrying it into the future. So it's going to be very helpful to practice being in the present moment. And for people that have had negative experiences in the past, it's going to be more difficult. So this practice is in fact a practice. So the best way I could describe being in the present moment is to welcome doing nothing or stillness. So if you're a person that's just really highly active all the time, I want you to just notice bringing yourself to whatever location or activity that you're doing, and doing it as slow as possible, meaning doing check-ins such as, I'm walking to the bathroom, or I'm walking to do the dishes, or doing emotional check-ins such as, am I feeling any tension in my body? This will kind of bring you more into the present moment and being more still about it. And this is going to be the very similar feeling as when intuition pops up. He or she is going to be very quiet. She's not going to be loud or noisy. She's not going to have like a loud clamoring emergency type feeling to it. And she's not going to feel like anxiety either. It's going to be more of a very subtle feeling. So practice being in your hands, and also practice stillness. So also another reason why people are not in their intuition is because they do things within their life that make themselves not trust themselves. This means not doing what they're saying they're going to do, not keeping up habits, not making promises to yourself and not keeping it. So doing what you say you're going to do is going to be extremely helpful. This will kind of build trust within your foundation of yourself. If it's something that, if you just find that things are really stressful, or you feel that, life is getting really stressful for you, it generally means that you're not trusting your intuition. So, I also like a technique that I like to bring up is people that generally feel kind of alone with other people. If you have to feel better, like by yourself, if you feel more validated by yourself, it generally means that you are not using your intuition enough, or you're not using it actively. You're listening to it, but you're not doing what it says. So I like to use visualization techniques, and for people that are not used to using their intuition, you can kind of first feel how it feels within your body. And when this practice is done enough, you can kind of bring this sensation with you wherever you go. So it kind of acts like an intuition is kind of like a friend. So if you don't feel comfortable with yourself and feel alone with yourself when you're with other people, you can kind of use this feeling as more of a friend to kind of feel more of a safety with other people. The reason why people feel more validated by themselves because they don't have to pretend to be anybody else, and they don't have to explain themselves, and typically that gets super boring, and it gets super tiring after a while. So bringing this intuition as a friend wherever you go will be much more beneficial when trying to establish healthy relationships. So another thing that I would like to bring up is if you're a person that basically is in autopilot all the time or in survival mode all the time, I want you to ask yourself, if I wasn't constantly in survival mode or autopilot all the time, what would I be doing? And if you can't think of it, that's okay. We can also use things like, what makes me really excited about life? This is normally a sign of intuition. It just kind of gives that internal joy that you get to express, and that's a sign of intuition as well. So if you're a person that just can't get out of survival mode, it's very helpful to listen to what makes you super excited about life. So I hope this is very helpful for you guys, and I love you so much. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you like this channel. And I also have a Spotify and articles that I write, as well as daily quotes. And I also welcome individual sessions as well. And I'll leave all that information in the description box below. But I love you, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.